Okay, this is going to be a quicker one because I recorded this and shared the wrong damn screen, which has pissed me off to no regard. But this is how to use scripts, and I'm going to use this table as an example so that you understand why we use scripts, when to use scripts, how to build scripts, and how to actually make the scripts useful for a specific need. So let's assume that this build out has this goal. We need to build a duplicates tracker for this client's um, coaching program because we find that he's found that there are a number of different people and there are a number of different logs for specific records in specific people. So, for example, the onboarding information is on one record, whereas the call information is on another record, because there are automations that are basically sending things into different places. Our task is to make sure that we can understand where the duplicates are and then figure out a step towards merging them together. To do that, I've created this table as an example, and this table is basically going to be the little playground that we're going to use. Now, I've already done this in this Claude over here, so I'm just going to open up a complete new Claude and show you exactly what we're going to do here. Before I start, I've done it again. My face has disappeared again. Before I start, oh, I'm back. Perfect. Before I start, the reason why we use scripts instead of make automations or inline formulas is because of the following. If I wanted to do exactly what I'm doing right now, where I want to reference other records in the same table, I cannot use the formulas here because these formulas will only give me the information on that specific record. So if I went here and okay, I'm just call it name, and oh my goodness, brain's gone blank. This is obviously never going to be something that I would ever use. This looks stupid, but you can see here that each formula works to calculate a bunch of things on these rows here. So this plus this equals this. This plus this equals this. I can't do this plus this equals this. Like I can't do that. I can't reference that in this. That's one of the limitations of relational databases. You just can't do that. The reason why we wouldn't use a make.com automation for what we're about to do as well is because making this using a no-code automation platform actually requires a level of malleability and technique with functions and arrays, which actually makes things just way longer to do. The way that this would work as a make automation is in the goal that we're trying to achieve. The way that this would work as an automation in make requires scripts in the first place. That's the first thing, because what we would end up doing is we would create a script that would get us all the information or all of the rows, and then we'd probably concatenate them into an array, and then we would send that array as data to a webhook of our choosing. That webhook would pick up the array. Once it picks up the array, it would just be like data colon and then every single record. From there, we would use some sort of function to sort in ascending order by a specific field. So for example, we wanted to sort it by the name field. We sort it by the name field. We get that information. We get all of the record IDs associated with all of them. And then we basically would have to split by one particular. There's even me describing this right now. It's not as easy as it would be if we had just got an AI to just give us a script. The ability to work through arrays and make it so that you can, divide things up, use sorts, use array aggregators, use iterators in order to just get this one small situation sorted is actually better handled by a script that can do it in-house and also do it really, really easily. So the way the scripts are going to work is the following. For every single script that you write, your script requires, and again, remember the 5 pillars of prompting. You've got a role, you've got the context, you've got the objective, you've got the output requirements, and you've got the formatting requirements. That is ubiquitous across 99% of all of Claude of prompts in general. We're going to use basically that. We won't need every single one of those headings, but we're going to use basically that, and I'm going to show you exactly how this is going to work. So I'm going to copy and paste the context right here. So I'm going to take a screenshot where I include the name of the table and every single row. If there were multiple rows, let's say I was working in this dashboard and I can't see all of the rows, what I would do is I would take a screenshot like this. I would get the name of the record or the name of the table and the entire list here of all of the fields. And this is actually a better way to do things because you can actually see the type of field that it is. So this one here, A, F, X, this is a formula field. This is a date created field. This is a linked record field. This is a number field, number field. This is a date field, and single select field, etc., etc., etc. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take a screenshot of the name of the table and every single column. Once you've done that, you would go into Claude and you would paste that. This is your context. This right here is your context. So the role is, you don't really even need to do this, but you would say play the role of an Airtable developer. We have a list of students that we want to deduplicate. I'm going to do this off of camera. Play the role of an Airtable developer. We have a list of students that we want to deduplicate. Create an Airtable script that will print a number of duplicates by name in the number of duplicates column. Do not use output.markdown. Only use console.log for any text you want to send back. The reason why I've got this here is because if I don't have this, in fact, I'm actually going to do this and you'll see what the problem is. So I'm going to keep that out of the actual automation, and then I'm going to put it back in when it's time for it. So you can see here, play the role of an Airtable developer. So this is the reason why I was just putting this down here so that I could put it there. But here it's giving it to us, and you can see here output.text duplicate count incomplete, blah 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 blah, prepare updates, count occurrences of each name, whatever. I'm now going to go in and create the script. Now this is the way to create scripts. Automations, create new, create automation. Usually these would be run at a schedule, and the scheduled time oftentimes is either daily or weekly. We're just going to say every day at 12 a.m. You don't even need to test a trigger. And then the next step is you want to run the script. Copy and paste this entire thing into the script and then click test. This is going to fail and it's not going to work, but I know exactly the reason why. Output.text is not a function at main on line 37. Now, before I even get to fixing this, I'm going to explain what you're seeing in front of you. Inside of the script, you can see there are 4 things to really pay attention to. You've got the code, you've got the inputs, you've got the secrets, and then you've got this bottom part and really the test output down here. This isn't as important, but this is good for you to know where to find the different Airtable things that you can do with regards to how they manage JavaScript. Because you can go in here and you can look at some of the examples, you can look at the APIs, and you can copy and paste these here. You can copy and paste all of these here so that whenever you want to do certain scripting inside of AI, you can just save, copy and paste, save all of these documentations, and then that will enable you to build things without running into errors like this one, because this error is a stupid error. I'm going to tell you why it's a stupid error. So we're in here. It doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work is because output.text is not a function. The reason why it comes up with that nonsense sometimes is because Claude can't tell if Claude knows JavaScript. It knows that Airtable uses JavaScript, so it's just going to write JavaScript. But if there are certain rules that Airtable's JavaScript doesn't follow compared to JavaScript in any normal IDE, inside a cursor, inside a Claude code, inside of whatever it may be, Visual Studio Code, then it's just going to go by what it knows as far as what JavaScript is. But it will make stupid errors like this, which makes the back and forth annoying. Because whenever there's a back and forth, you will often need to take screenshots to say, hey, you got it wrong. This is what needs to be done. Your context window inside of the automation just goes through the roof. And now you're running out of credits and you have to wait 4 hours until you can use the thing again. Nonsense. So we know that output.text is not a function. So the way that we're going to fix that is with what I said here. So beforehand, it was putting out output.markdown. So what I want now is do not use output anything. Only use console.log for any text you want to send back. So I'll do this, and then it's going to give me back a better JavaScript. One thing to keep in mind: use the best chat mode right at the time of recording. Right, it's Sonnet 4.5 or Opus 4.5, and turn on extended thinking. So I'm going to copy this now and then paste this over here. You can see that now it says console.log. and you'll see all of the list of things. Updated 11 records, duplicate counting complete. All right, what do we have in front of us? Now we can see the number of duplicates, 22231122233. Now it's telling me that there's one duplicate here. This isn't a duplicate. This is a unique record, which means I actually want to omit unique records. Unique records. Do not print a number in the column if the record is unique. And whilst it's printing that out, I'm going to delete these. I'm going to clear the record data here, go back into my automations, and then go here, and then cut this. And then I'm going to take this again, and then I'm going to paste it back over here. And then we're going to run the test and see what spits out. Updated 9 records, duplicate counting complete. Perfect. So now you can see the unique records here do not have a duplicate. Now, the way to make this now actually useful is for us to do a couple of things which require not stuff outside of the automations now. So the automation, the thing that's doing a lot of the hard work to actually generate these numbers is done. We now need to group these, and we're going to group them by name. Because now that we group them by name, we can see that this person, because we were running duplicates by name, we can see that this person has this many duplicates. This person has this many duplicates. This person has this many duplicates. And now, if you wanted to merge people, you could effectively click into each one of these and then merge them as and when needed. And this looks the exact same way that it would look on the interfaces. As I'd done this prior, you would just group by one field, and then you would run filters on one specific field. And in this case, I did number of duplicates is not empty. So we've hidden the unique records, and we've only got the duplicate records here. And that's a very, very simple example of how to use script to solve for a particular business function. The next video is going to talk about better ways to make the scripts work.